In this video, we're going to take a look at the brand new pie chart and donut chart support in iOS 17 using SwiftUI. Before we jump into things, hit that like button down below, and if you're new around here and into iOS, consider smashing subscribe while you're at it. Let's open up Xcode 15 beta and let's start by creating a new project. We'll stick with the standard app template and we're going to call this pie and donut fun because who doesn't like pies and donuts? Make sure you're sticking with Swift and SwiftUI and save the project wherever you'd like. I'll start by expanding my window and closing this left panel here, and also our preview should load in. In case it doesn't, you can hold Command and Option, hit P, and you'll see your preview pop in. Alrighty, so first things first, I'm going to paste in a model and some starter data that we will use for our Swift chart. So not to worry, let me just walk through this. So we basically have a chart data object here. It conforms to both identifiable and plottable. It's yelling at me because we do need to import the charts module like so. Now inside of here, we can create this with a plottable value, which is an integer, as well as a color. Nothing more than that going on. And then we have an array of that object. So an array of chart data, models initialized with random numbers and colors. Beautiful. So let's take a look at charts, what we're all here to look at. So let's clear out stuff in our body, and I'm just gonna bring in a navigation view, toss in a VStack in there, and inside of here we are going to have a chart, and this chart is going to basically loop over our data, and we'll have item in, and we're going to create what is called a SectorMark. And SectorMark is actually the new thing that is available in iOS 17 that lets you create these beautiful pie charts and donut charts. Before we do that though, let me just at least add a title here to curb my OCD. We'll call this pie charts, and inside here we'll create a SectorMark. Okay. So you'll see here SectorMark has a bunch of optional arguments similar to many views in SwiftUI. Another thing that's cool in iOS 17 and Xcode 15 is instead of trying to haggle with all of these individual arguments, you can hit the right arrow and you'll see all the permutations pop down. Someone let me know if this was around in Xcode 14. I might be mistaken, but let's at least get something showing up to see what we're all here for. So we're going to stick with just an angle, and for the angle, we're going to specify a value where the first element will be a label. I'm just going to hard code label, and this one here will be our plottable object, which in our case is item, the contextual object coming into our closure. Alrighty, and just like that, we see this blue circle. Now, clearly there's a couple problems here. Number one, we can't disambiguate the various slices of this pie. Number two, it'd be kind of nice if there was a little bit of space between each piece. Now, to disambiguate each of the slices, we're going to use the foreground style, and what I'll toss in here is item.color. And this is the color property that we're just grabbing off of the chart data model. And we can now suddenly see the various pieces in this pie. So looking a whole lot better. Now, what if you actually wanted to, use the same color? In our case, we have a different color. Well, there in fact is a way where you can get away with doing that. What we'll do is open this up again, the constructor, and there is an inner radius here. So I'll type this in again. So this will be our label, and this will be our value here. Now this inner radius will let you actually make this a donut. So we'll do a ratio here. We're going to say 0.5, and what this will do is this will actually just collapse this kind of ring shape donut, if you will, but still doesn't solve the problem of these pieces touching each other. To actually solve that, what I am going to do is use another argument in here, and let's just go back to the autocomplete to help ourselves out. And what we're actually looking for is angular inset. Let's see if I can find it. All right, here it is, angular inset. Value will be the same thing. We'll say inner inset will still be that ratio. Go ahead and do some ratio that you feel is right. And this is the argument that'll let you add some spacing. So let's add 10 points. And we refresh that preview, and now you'll see all of our slices are 10 points apart. It actually might be a little much, so I'll reduce that, and let's just get rid of this inner radius to see the whole pie in action again. And if I also comment out our foreground style, you'll see that even if this was using the basic tint of our app, which is blue, you can now see the pieces independently. So that is a donut chart and a pie chart in a nutshell. Now, I will preface that I have tons of videos to come on iOS 17 and Xcode 15. One notable other change is you now have interactivity with these charts, so selection. So if I wanted to select one of these pieces and highlight them, I can do so. I can even position a label inside the middle of this donut here. There is actually, in fact, a modifier to do that. To add a chart background view, but I will keep it to the basics of pie charts and donut charts in this video. If you are interested in any of the content to come, make sure you subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if you're pumped about the new chart changes, what other cool stuff from iOS 17 and WWDC 23 that you're excited for. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.